Alright, we'll just quickly go through the game. It shouldn't take too long. So yeah, can you see the screen now?
Yep.
Yes, I can.
Okay. Let's put it on. So here, this is a tough choice, and I think I would also pick the Zoro, because in this matchup, we only need one stage, but we're gonna need multiple Zoro. Honestly though, I think stage and Zoro is probably really close. And if it were one stage, one Zoro, I pick the stage for sure. But since it's one stage, two Zoro, it's a bit harder. And I think it's okay with both. So yeah, picking Zoro is okay.
Yeah.
Because you see later on, I had another search where it was both Zoros again.
And neither two Zoro, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunate. And here, okay, this is a mistake that you should never make. So by going 7k with leader here, you're asking for one card. And by going 5-5, you're also asking for one card. But by going 7 leader here, you're gonna have a Dawn up, and you don't have the rest of your army. So here, if you're gonna play like this, you always just go 7 leader, because they have one Dawn up. So yeah.
Okay. Understood.
That makes
And
sense, though.
even if you like, this is the play that we only do into teach, because most of the time having the Dawn up is more important than getting that extra swing. Because in a sense, it's like one swing for one swing. But as AUG Luffy, the Nami is valuable, and once, like, when you don't have any Dawn up, they're gonna take a life from you. And AUG Luffy's life is more important than any other leader's life. Because for AUG Luffy, it's really hard for opponent to take your life. They oftentimes need to spend an entire turn to get one life. And when you're giving your life for free in the early game, like this early, it's gonna be bad. So most of the time, just swinging 6 or 7 would be correct. You need to save the counter.
Yeah. Okay.
Then wait, that's standard. They just counter everything, should be cool. Okay. This is not good, because you can already map out the swing that they are gonna have already. So you're gonna counter the 5, and then this is like 7 or 8. So if you just take this swing is all you're gonna take on this turn. And you won't have to take the double attack. So by using the Charlestone, you're trading 2 cards for 1 life, which is not worth in the mirror. Mirror is a bit special, where you can just take the first life, because in the mirror, seeing your cards is way more important than saving the life. So here, usually in the mirror, we can take the first life whenever we have to. In this case, it's not worth using 2 cards for 1 life. So I would just take the 8k and then free counter the 7k. Like here, losing 2 cards is quite bad. And you also don't get to see his life card, which is important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I think that was a bit of a, I think when I was doing that, I did realize that I could have just taken one of the swings.
Yeah. And then here, okay. Here, I think here you have to attempt to kill the Usopp, because in the mirror usually goes like this. You are both trying to clear all the Sanji Usopp that the opponent had, and the person who run out of Sanji Usopp is gonna lose usually. So here, you can pressure this Usopp really hard. So you can swing 9 into it, and then 8 into it, and then 7 into it. You're probably gonna get the Usopp. And getting the Usopp is good for you. Even the thing is, you don't have to swing the Usopp to get their Usopp. So even if they go like Nika, they are either gonna kill your. I mean, obviously you spend the Child Stone on the last turn, so it's looking real bad for you. But let's say you're free life, you're gonna have the Child Stone in hand. You can actually protect your Sanji and then just let the Zoro go. And then the turn after, you just use Nami to pressure their another Usopp. So and then you're gonna win the game from there. Mira is a battle of clearing your opponent's story standard, and here, yeah, when you can pressure the Usopp, you should, cause you you don't really see your opponent rest their Usopp. Like last turn, I think resting the Usopp was wrong already, and when they do that, you should just punish them by pressuring the Usopp.
Okay.
But yeah, it looks so over already because they got another.
Yeah, it was a bit grim.
So
this is where I decided to try to pressure them a bit, but I think
Yes.
it turned too late.
And here, if you're gonna swing 7 anyway, you should swing 7 with leader. Because let's say they go like, maybe Charleston, maybe they still have Dawn. You can perhaps make your Usopp stay active. And having the Usopp active is nice because then they cannot just swing into it. So you should swing your leader before your Usopp if you're gonna swing 7 anyway. And then from this point, it's just over because they have way too big of a board.
Yeah.
And then going into the second game, and then this is a weird matchup. And in this matchup, we're actually the aggressor because we don't win against UP in the late game. So we need to pressure them as hard as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like your first hand was actually really, really good because you got Luffy on 6 and then double Sanji on 8. This is as aggressive as we can get. So I'll definitely keep this. But somehow we got a better hand. So that's good.
Second. So I was trying to hard Molly full stage.
Oh.
But
usually that's correct, but since against UP Luffy, we are the aggressor. And we just need to play very aggressively. And when you hit a curve like this, it's okay to just keep.
Yeah,
it's sort of like how we played to teach.
Yes. Except it's a bit easier because free life, no trigger.
Yeah.
But they do have the Gum Gum Giant and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of counters.
And so here, I would consider swinging 8, but honestly, 6 is okay because they take anyway. They should counter though. Like if they're playing perfect, they should counter this. Cause it's not extra. They don't have Bagua, so there's no real reason for them to be at 2 life.
Yeah.
And here, since they have a Dawn up, swinging 6 and swinging 8 does not make a difference. You should just swing 6, which I think you did. Yeah, so that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Here, you should definitely just go double Sanji, because 7k is bigger than 5k.
Okay, so if I had in a situation where I have double Sanji and Usopp, double Sanji is always better.
Yeah, basically, because 7k is bigger. 7k is like a lot bigger than 5k. And later on, when you are at your Zoro turn, you cannot attack with Usopp because Usopp is only 5k, which is smaller than your leader, and you cannot protect it. But Sanji, he can attack, so he's really good.
Okay, so in a way, sort of, double Sanji provides more value than having like a Sanji Usopp, even though that combo resends 3 Dawn at the end of the turn.
Into this matchup, definitely, because this matchup, you want to end the game as soon as possible.
Yeah. So is there, I guess when we're sort of playing more aggressively, like into UP Luffy or Teach, then double Sanji would be better. But in other matchups where we're sort of not playing as aggressive, Sanji Usopp is okay. But Sanji is still better in a way.
Sanji is still a lot better. Because
Yeah.
like when you think about the meta matchup, like and now it's gonna kill the Usopp for free by Mamaragan, but cannot kill the Sanji. Let's say Mihawk is gonna rest your Usopp and with the Shanks and then kill it. And then like against Teach, 7K is obviously better. So it's like in every single one of the meta matchup, Sanji is just better. But let's say in a really, really weird world where your opponent had no ability to interact with the Usopp, it's potentially better to play Usopp because he restant one more dawn. But that's just not the case. Like Sanji is just so much better by being bigger.
Okay,
it's easier
I
to
sort of
protect.
understand that now, yeah. Because I sort of valued like restanding Don a bit more, which is why I went for the Sanji Usopp combo. But I guess I can see the value in like having double Sanji as well now.
And then here, honestly, I think you should swing for bigger. Because again, if we just swing 10 here, they're gonna spend 3 cards. Or they will take down to 0, which is really good for us. We don't care about our life as much, because we probably need to end the game, like, very soon. Like, sooner than them.
Well, so that's good that you brought that up because I think that might be one of my weaknesses where I'm sort of prioritizing like trying to have 5 Dons standing over doing like higher swing attacks to get more cards out of their hand or something like that. So is this also like a matchup dependent thing, or in general, like how do I know when it's better to sort of swing higher versus trying to keep keep 5 Don up?
Yeah, okay, so
Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You need to think about the game in turns. So like at the start of each turn, you're gonna think about, I call this the clock, where you think about in how many turn your opponent is gonna die versus in how many turn you're gonna die. If a play can accelerate your opponent's clock, meaning they would die earlier, it's a good play. Or if a play could delay your own clock by a turn, it's also a good play, because your goal of the game is to kill your opponent before they kill you. So your play would either make them die faster or make you live longer. So either way, it's a good play. So if by swinging bigger, you are accelerating their clock, meaning they would die earlier, that's a good play. Because like in this position, like after they have 4 big characters, you're gonna die the turn after. So having 3 Dawn or 5 Dawn here does not affect your own clock, but it could potentially make your opponents die faster. So here swinging bigger was the right play, because it's doing things to the clock, where having 3 versus 5 Dawn does not do as much to the clock. You'll probably die on the same turn, like the turn they have 4 characters. After this, you die.
Yes. Okay, I see. I understand that now. Actually, that's like a good way to put it. Like thinking about it as a clock.
Yeah.
I sort of like only think about that when I get into the late game and I see it's like time for me to either go all in or try and defend myself because I might not survive another turn, etc. But I think when you put it in that perspective, where it's like thinking about it as a clock and making decisions on potentially accelerating the clock in a way where we can potentially kill the opponent faster. Makes like it's a big decision, I guess, and like influences a lot of things that you would do. And I think I wasn't really thinking about that, or haven't been thinking about that until later into the game, which is sort of affected like my clock and how fast it's working.
Right. This is One Piece fundamental, and one of I think it's the most important part of the fundamental, because everything else is easy. Like Mulligan is intuitive, But this one, like the clock, calculating in how many turns they would die versus in how many turns you would die, it's not that intuitive, but it's also really important. And yeah, just not enough people are thinking about it that way.
Yeah.
I agree. I
And
definitely
here,
wasn't thinking about it until too late.
Again, let's think about our own clock. Do we die the next turn? Do we die to a simple split?
Yeah, most likely.
We die to a simple split because the split is 11, 11, 11, 11, 11. We can free counter 2 of that. So we need to counter out of 3 11k swing, which is not possible with our hand. So this time we absolutely have to go for game because they either had enough counter to survive whatever you have, or if they don't have the counter, they're gonna go for game and we would die to a simple split. So yeah, we have to go for game here. And here they did not go for game because they are still AK leader with probably a lot of counter, but if they had just split, we would probably die. Like, if you don't get the Luna trigger, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, so this game is effectively over. Let's go to the next.
Yeah,
That game was also a bit difficult when you dropped that rush Luffy.
Yeah. Rush Luffy is really good against us because that's like accelerating our clock too much. Like by 1 turn.
Yeah.
Because they get extra life.
So here again, you'll notice that like I'm not doing efficient swings. I'm more prioritizing having more done up.
I mean, playing with more done up is usually fine when you're not the aggressor in the matchup. Which with AUG Luffy, that's the case a lot of the time because you're the more defensive deck. But like in this matchup where you're losing out on the late game, like against UP, against Teach, against Ace, you need to be the aggressor. You need to be more aggressive.
Yeah.
This is a tough call, and I would probably take the Luffy, but also is how many Luffy do you run in this game? Do you remember?
So I'm using your most recent.
If it's less than 4, then it's definitely correct to take Luffy. But if it's like both, if you're running 4 Luffy, it makes sense to take Usopp. But let's say if you're running 3 Luffy, you definitely have to take the Luffy because your ideal curve next turn is to go Luffy, Usopp, and you need one of each.
Yeah.
So you're gonna take the one that you have less. But since you have both of them at 4, it makes sense to take the Usopp because having multiple Usopp does not hurt as much as having multiple Luffy that is stuck in your hand.
Yeah.
So yeah, taking the Usopp makes
That's
sense.
sort of the reason why I also do that as well.
And you got the Luffy, that's nice.
Yeah.
6k. No, 6k is okay because next turn they may go for maybe the 4 cost ramp into like 5-7. Yeah, that's possible. So you might need 2 down up. And they take anyway for some reason. I swear all of these UP players, they just take life. Okay, that was pretty cool. Yeah, swinging here is okay because it's gonna pressure you on the next turn. Okay, funny. And then playing the Sanji is alright here, but here I would actually consider playing the Zoro because 9k is bigger than 7k.
Okay.
So I was actually gonna ask you. So in that turn before, when I did the Luffy Usopp, was that also the better play than just playing Sanji? Because the way I calculated was the way I calculated what I was going to play was based on how much Don I would have freestanding at the end of the turn. And I would have more with.
Into UP Luffy, you want to end the game as soon as possible. So you need to think in a way like how much swing you're gonna have. Because you cannot win against him in the late game. They're just gonna go Sanji, Zoro, and then after they did their first big drop, they would just, Nami and leave 5 Dawn up and then have whatever counter event they had. So in the late game, you're always you're gonna lose in the late game. So you need to end the game before that point. So you have to be really aggressive in here.
Yeah. So I think I made the right decision,
but
for the wrong reason.
But here, like from this hand, I would play the Zoro first. Because when you play the Zoro, next turn, you're gonna have a 9k character that can swing into them. And then on the turn after, you have great play as well. On the turn after, you can play Sanji, Luffy, into whatever. So that's like double develop. That will make your curve a lot stronger, and then your swing next turn is a lot stronger, because if you're gonna develop one character anyway, you might as well get the bigger one. Okay, here I will swing 9, because they have 1 down up. And with 1 down up, it's possible that they have gear 2 in hand. We're not worried about Giant here, because by going Giant, they don't get leader ability next turn. So it's not possible for them to Giant, but it's possible for them to gear 2. So swinging 9k is better here to get 2 cards. But they take anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay. Okay, that's good. Here, you reduce the Roger into a 3k. That's nice. But if you're gonna swing into it anyway, you want to swing your leader into it, because you're going 6 into 3 instead of 7. So you still have the 7 at the back to swing. They cannot defend anyway, because if they defend the 3k Roger, it's like a 3k leader, which does not make sense. So they have to let it go. So here what I would do is I would stage effect, swing 6 into 3. They would let it go. And then I will spend the rest of our dawn to swing 9, 9, 9, 9 to apply maximum pressure, because we have to kill them the turn after. We cannot play 2 more turns. Like, look at the board. We are gonna die on the turn after next turn. We don't die this turn, but the turn after we die. So if we're gonna die on the turn after anyway, we have to go for game next turn. So we have to apply maximum pressure now. And then that makes, okay. Here. So they play the Roger first, and from here, we already know that these 3 swings are going to our face, and we have to take at least 1 life. And when we're only 2 life, it's very possible that they just kill us on the next turn. Because when you look at our hand, if we had like 3 Charleston, we may leave, but that's not the case right now. So we're definitely dead on the turn after. So we have to go for game next turn. If we were gonna go for game next turn, we might as well take all the hits to prevent them from going for our board suddenly. Or if you run the King Kong Gatling, you may find the King Kong Gatling from life as well. Here, you absolutely cannot throw the brook.
Yes, I understand. Based on what you said previously.
Okay, again, we're gonna imagine them to do a simple split against you. And do you survive the split?
No.
No, definitely not. So we have to go for game here, even if we don't have broke. Here, even though we would die to a simple split, so let's say they go 5 down here, 2 down here, 1 down here, 1 down here, they go 11, 11, 11, 12, 11, 11, 11, 12. And we're gonna counter, take, take. Oh, we're not dead. Because they lost the Nami. Because if they had the Nami, we're kind of dead. But since they lost the Nami, it's cool. We don't die. Yay. I think we have to give the Usopp here. But then they just had another Roger. So yeah, it's over.
Yeah, they had another Roger, yeah.
And then this is the Ace game. Okay, this game was well played. I would.
Yeah, I also agree.
Yeah.
I played a lot differently this game. I don't know what changed. Like when I was recording those first three games, I'd just come back from like a very hectic day, and then I took a little break between because I needed to send you these videos.
Yeah.
But then after I took a little break and then I started playing again, and it just felt so different.
Yeah, this game was played really clean. I would do almost everything the same except in the very late game, but that was a minor thing. It doesn't even matter that much.
Yeah.
So this is a well played game. Go and just look at it. Yeah. Leaving Freedom here is very, very nice. We hold on to the surge so that they don't get their swings in. Yeah, and then we just play really well. Here, you could just do 2 Dawn first. And then, yeah, just go 2 Dawn first to force them to swing. But this is like minor stuff, so it doesn't really matter. You can give 1k first, it's fine, it's the same. You still give 2 cards. Yeah, then we just take 1 swing. Swing the 7 is really nice here because that's smaller than their leader. And you just made them 7k base somehow. Okay. Countering was good. Yeah. And then it's easy. Okay, here you already know how big they're gonna swing. So here they cannot swing the new gate because if they swing the new gate, they are just dead to a broke because you could go broke and then fall down on the Zoro and then just throw 4 cards for the attacks and then they would be guaranteed dead, right? No, that's not true. I mean, if they swing the new gate, that would be true. So they cannot swing the new gate here. So since they cannot swing the new gate, you can just go 2 Dawn on this. And then when they swing 8 into the Usopp, you just go another 2 Dawn. So there's actually no way you take any damage here. So you could just use 2 Dawn. You don't need to give the 1k because they're not going to swing with the white beard anyway. If they swing, they're dead.
Makes sense, yeah.
But we just win anyway, so. Hey, Rosie, I actually haven't looked at this game yet, so we're gonna go slower. Maybe 3x speed. Okay, double Luna, this is a keep. For sure, yeah.
Yeah, kept it.
Yeah, we need 2 down up here, because next turn they could swing 7, and then lead the ability, play the Focus Law. So yeah, holding on to the search was good.
They swung 9.
No.
If they swing 9, that means they are gonna miss the law, which is also okay for you. Yeah, having 3 down up is nice, because it's possible that they go 7-7 on this turn. And with 3 down up, you could counter with just 1k. Just use 2 down here, that's nice. Okay, and then if they swing 9, we just take. Yeah, that's good. They miss Rosie Law. So this is a turn with some decision, but I think you just always start with the 6 cost Luffy. Oh, swing board? Oh yeah, you can pressure it, right? Yeah. Wait, did you... Wait, what? What?
I think I was scared of Dragon Blade.
Oh.
Dragon Twister, yeah. Because if
Um,
I played that Luffy, they could have taken both. That's what I was sort of trying to play around.
sure.
So what do you think would have been better there?
Okay, if you... Okay, here they have an empty board, and if they play Dragon Twister on this turn, they only have 2 Dawn left to work with, which is only gonna be a Focus Law. Which is okay for you, because those characters are not real. Like, anything that is below 7k are not real characters into our leader. So that's perfectly fine for you. And if you do this play, they are just gonna go Sakatsuki and then kill your one single character, and that's even worse than the Dragon Twister play. Because now they have extra AK characters, so you have to play the Luffy here. And then we'll go for the Nami search as well. Because with this amount of Luna, if any of our characters sticks, it's gonna be really great. And here, if you want to play around the Dragon Twister, you should just play 7 cost Zoro. Because then they only get the Sanji, but then with the Zoro, you're applying massive pressure every turn. So here, you should consider just playing the Zoro, and then swing with the leader. And then maybe you can hold on to the swing of Sanji to force them to have Mamaragan.
Okay.
Because this extra 7k swing does not matter as much when you have double Luna. When you have double Luna, you just need a good enough board so that you can kill them on your 2 Luna turns. And leaving the Sanji active helps with that. So here, the better play would just be to go 7 cost Zoro and then swing face with leader. And then on the following turn, you're gonna have 9 Dawn. You're gonna do something like play the Luffy, and then maybe search for another character to play, something like that. And then you just keep your character active. Here you should just counter. Maybe you can protect the Sanji. Yep, you can. Okay.
Yeah, I do end up being able to protect it.
But 1k, that hurts. I think we need to keep the Nami. But I think this is worth. And then we're playing into Dragon Twister anyway. I mean, we could just play a Zoro, right? Or we're not playing
So
Zoro.
I think here I made the mistake of playing... Oh, no, I did play.
Yeah.
I think I did get Dragon Twisted in this game.
If we're gonna play the Zoro, rushing makes sense, because we're still getting alive, so it's cool. And then we just force them to have Saka. And they miss Saka as well. That's pretty funny.
Oh yeah, they just kept Divine departuring me.
I feel like that's fine. Just play another Zoro here. We don't have to spend the Luna one now. Because into this matchup where Luna is really good, we want to chain Luna. So when we play Luna, we want to play Luna in a row so that that character never stand up. So to make that the most effective, we're gonna build the biggest board we can build before starting our Luna turn. So here, this turn, the better play would be just to play Zoro, swing face, hoping that the two of these stakes, and then from the next turn, your Luna turn is gonna be better. So we should just play Zoro first.
So
So
here
I
I think
think
I
I
made
made
the
the
decision,
decision,
which
which
wasn't
wasn't
the
the
best,
best,
to
to
sort
sort
of
of
pressure
pressure
the
the
blockers
blockers
because they
because
were
they were
on
on
low
low
life.
life.
So
So
I
I
was
was
thinking
thinking
like,
like,
if he
if he
wants to
wants to
save the
save the
character,
character,
he's
he's
gonna have
gonna
to
have
give
to
a
give a
life.
life.
But
But
then,
then,
you know,
But then if
then
they
he can
give
do
the
what he
life
wants
and
to
they
do.
take another swing, they would just die, right? Yeah, it should just pressure the 5k leader when they're one life.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Twister, yep, because we didn't play the Zoro. But here, this is still okay. This is still looking okay because double Luna is that good. This is still very winnable. Oh, that's rough. Still very winnable though. We could just split two-way with leader and Nami, or we could just leave fight on. Yes, that's the better play. Yes, they have to give a blocker or give a life, which is good for us either way. But we do that anyway. Okay. Yes. Feel like we still win this. Alright, so here we should just kill the Saka, right? Because we got that many Nami. Oh. Okay, so here I think we should just go play Nika 2k into here, 2k into here, 2k into here. If they do protect it, and then we'll rush the Nika into him as well. So at the end of the turn, we're gonna have 2 done up, which is enough because they only have 1, 2, 3, 4 characters, and their maximum split without the Saka. It's gonna be 7, 8, 8, 8. We just need to counter out of 2 of them, which is perfectly good because we can do Dawn 1k, Dawn 2k. So if we just kill the Saka, we don't die next turn. That's probably what we should do. And also we're pressuring life, right? By doing that. So we make sure that they're dead the next turn. But okay, Luna is also very good, very good. So yeah. Oh. I would keep the Brook there to force them to have removal. But forcing them to 0 life was also fine. But if they had a Borsa in here, we're gonna be quite cooked.
Yeah, I think they do find a Borsa.
Oh.
So
yeah,
I
I
think
think
looking
looking
back
back
at
at
this
this
video,
video,
I
I
do
do
agree. I
agree. I
think
think
there
there
have
have
also
also
been
been
some
some
cases,
cases,
not
not
just
just
in
in
this
this
game,
game,
but
but
in
in
general,
general,
where
where
I've
I've
had the
had the
opportunity to
opportunity to
play
play
7
7
cost
cost
Zoro,
Zoro,
but
but
because I
because
was
I was
too
too
worried
worried
about
about
not
not
having
having
enough
enough
Don
Don
restanding,
restanding,
I would
I would
opt in
opt
for
in for
like a
like a
Sanji or a
Sanji or a
Usopp or
Usopp or
something
something
else
else
other
other
than the
than the
Zoro.
Zoro.
But I
But I
do
do
see the
see the
value of
value of
like
like
just
just
developing
developing
a
a
big
big
body
body
on
on
board
board
Yeah.
and
and
even
even
buffing
buffing
my
my
leader
leader
at the
at the
sacrifice
sacrifice
of a
of a
couple of
couple of
Don
Don
restanding.
restanding.
So I
So I
think
think
that's
that's
also
also
one
one
thing
thing
that I
that I
sometimes
sometimes
do
do
This
wrong.
is
wrong.
like, okay, so this is less about the Dawn, but rather can you survive the turn without losing any cards? So let's see here. Is it this turn? No? Okay. Let's no, that's after our first Zoro. So let's say here we play the Zoro, the outcome is gonna be the same because next turn they are on 8 Dawn, and on 8 Dawn they are probably gonna go Saka, Mamaragan, and then kill the Sanji probably, or the Zoro if they want. But I don't think they kill the Zoro, right? So yeah, maybe just kill the Sanji then. And in that case, they cannot break through your single Dawn. So either way, like Zoro or like any other play, you're gonna take 0 damage the next turn. So it does not change the outcome or the counter you have to give, because either way, you're not giving any cards away on the next turn. So Zoro is the better play here. And also plays around the Twister, so that's even better.
Yeah.
And then we split with Nami. Alright, that's pretty smart.
I think
Wait, what?
7, 5, 7, but
why don't we just jam? If we just go 10k, they need triple 2k to survive. Are we asking for more than triple 2k? No, we're not. Like, the way you split, you're asking for 1-2-1. But if you just jam, we're asking for 2-2-2. We should just jam. If we jam, we win, no?
Can we go back a little bit?
Yeah.
So here, I swung 7.
Wait, you don't even... Yeah. If you swing... Yeah, you swing 7, they take, right? If they take, you just jam. Because they cannot counter the 7. If they counter the 7, you go 5-7, they're guaranteed that. And then if they take, you should just jam. Jamming is way better here. You're jamming 10k, they need triple 2k for that. So yeah, that's like really basic mistake though. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. Okay.
Yeah. Bit of an oversight.
Okay. So let's look back. So we'll discuss the deck list first, because that's like one of the more important things. So for the deck list, AUG Luffy is a flexible deck. You're gonna have your core, your Sanji, your Zoro, your I think Luna is core, your Charleston, like your stage. Those are your core, but there's a few black spot. Let me just share my sim screen. Yeah. So if I were to play a regional this weekend, this is what I'm gonna bring. But honestly, your deck just need to have all of these, and the rest could be whatever you like. I think you need at least 2 need Kato. So you're gonna have I mean, yeah, these 2 you can cut some of them, but I don't think it's smart to cut them. So this is what I would consider the core of the deck, and then the remaining 4 slot could be flexible. I consider 4 broke to be core of the deck, because you always need broke, no matter what, in every single matchup.
Yeah.
So,
insane
yeah,
value.
he is always your best option into Little Turn, and you need at least 1 broke every game. So, let's say you run only 2 brokes, which I see a lot. In the mid game, when you go for your search, you're gonna run into a situation of you have to get the broke, or you will not see any broke ever for the rest of the game. So even if your search is like broke and 7 cost Zoro, and you would love the Zoro, you still have to take the broke, because that's your last one. So by playing more broke, we are less often to run into a situation where we are forced to take Brook, and we actually improve our chance of seeing all our other cards. And also, Brook has 1k counter, so by having maximum Brook, it's like you have a 5th copy of Zoro, because sometimes you can just take Zoro instead of forcing to take Brook. So Brook for very nice, and in a lot of the game, especially against Teach, you're gonna need multiple Brook to win the game. When you are in a losing position against any deck, if you had double Brook, you can just park the Brook and then force the lethal next turn. That's gonna work like more often than you think. So yeah, 4 Brook, I think, would be a good number. And then 2 Nika. 2 Nika is because there is Mihawk in the meta, and Mihawk, most of the Mihawk now run 7 cost Shanks. If we fail to remove the 7 cost Shanks, we will very often lose the game, because the 7 cost Shanks is gonna rest our Donry Stander, and then eventually they can kill all our Donry Stander. And after that, we don't have enough Dawn to protect ourselves. So we must see Nika Luffy after their 7 cost Shanks. That is why I don't think 1 is enough. We need at least 2 to see them often enough. And if you are seeing a lot of Mihawk, you can pump it up to 3. I don't think 4 is good though. I know I've played 4 before, but that's just too clunky. So 2 or 3, depending on how much Mihawk you expect. And then there's the other 6 cost Luffy. This card is only really good into deck with removal, specifically NL, and into deck where you need a lot of pressure, so Teach. So this card is good into NL and Teach, and Lucy, but Lucy is not real, so so this card is good into NL and Teach. If you expect a lot of NL and Teach, you're gonna increase the count of this card. So if you think the field is all NL and Teach, this is what you're gonna play. And then let's go to Gatling. Now, Gatling is a card that is good into all the matchup as well. Because with the Gatling, you're just swinging for more in your lethal turn. And when you combine it with Broke, you're gonna get double value, which is really nice.
Yeah, I like that lethal combo.
Yeah. So this is gonna improve your lethal by a lot. So if you have the deck slot, I will include 1 copy. And at the end of the day, it's just getting the balance you like and having a good meta read on what you're gonna expect. So if you expect heavy Mihawk, more Nika. If you expect heavy NL or Teach, more 6 cost Luffy. And then if you expect a lot of Mira, you absolutely have to have the Luna. And then you may consider having the 3rd Luffy. Because in the Mira, it's a battle of clearing your opponent's non-restander. And Nika is very efficient at doing that, because you could just find a turn to go for something like Nami Luna, stunning both of their restander, and then the turn after you could go for their restander. So let's say they have like Zoro, Sanji, Usopp, which are all active, and then you have Nami Luna in hand. You're gonna go like Luffy, Nami Luna. Even though they have the 9k Zoro, you're gonna have to stun their Dawn Restander, because you are not playing Luna to like defend against their swing. You are using Luna to keep the Dawn Restander rested so that you can swing into it later. So that's how you would play into a Mira. It's just clearing your opponent's Dawn Restander most of the time in whatever way. So Nika is good at that, because when they somehow rest their board and you can kill it with Nika, this is huge tempo swing. So more Nika helps with Mira. So yeah, you just adjust your list based on what you would see. Now there's some interesting card like this card. I used to hate this card, but this card is actually quite nice in the mirror. Obviously, Luna does the same job, but if you're gonna do the play of rest their stuff and then stun them to kill it, I know your strong is more consistent because it's searchable. So yeah, if you expect a lot of mirror, you can consider this card. And then
so I think,
but still
I think
the regional.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you go.
I would play for Luna before this card, so you can include this card, but only as a 5th copy of Luna. You never go like this. Just do for Luna.
So I think the regionals that I will be playing next weekend, it's Oceania, and a lot of people are playing Mihawk. So it's going to be green heavy regionals.
That's what I would expect as well. So we definitely need the Nika at 3, and then this would be the exact list I would bring if I were to play a 1,000 people regional. So you cannot make like specific meta reads.
Yeah, I think I actually really liked this deck list of yours. And when I was using it, I found a lot more success. Not to say that your new list wasn't as successful. I think I was just making like some really bad decisions while playing because I wasn't too. The list didn't feel as good as this one here. That's just like me personal and like my play style. But yeah, I really like this deck list. I think it's really good.
My last list with 4 Luffy was very, very specific meta read because I was playing a 32-man tournament and I know all of them. So I know I'm gonna run into it now, so I run 4 Luffy. So that was specific meta read. Don't do it at home.
But this list though, it is still pretty good into NL.
Yeah, still, but not as good because you need many 7K characters, and more is gonna help.
Yeah.
And this, while good into NL, is not as good as Luffy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm actually confident there will be quite a bit of NL players because there's a lot of. Actually, I don't know if there'll be a lot of me NL players.
Okay, if there's a lot of NL player, you could consider this. Yeah, just cut the 2 cost event. But the 2 cost event, I feel like it's too good. So
yeah,
if you don't think there will be like 25% NL, you're gonna keep the Gatling.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it for the list. And then let's just talk about the meta matchups. Yeah, I got it. Okay.
I think I'm pretty comfortable with most. Obviously, through your reviewing of the videos, like learning about, just thinking about the clock thing in general, I feel like is you know how you sort of sometimes you feel like you're missing a big thing, and it's always just like a very small detail that is missing. In this case, it's like just thinking about the clock throughout the entirety of the game, as opposed to like when you get closer to your your lethal turns. I think that for me is probably the biggest thing where I felt like there was something missing, but I just couldn't figure out what it was.
Right, I see.
So
You're
like
very
being able
smart.
to think about the clock. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just quickly go through the meta matchup. The Mira. The Mira is a tricky one, and this is the matchup that I like learned and improved the most since our guide. So like I'm actually a better player at the Mira than when I write the guide. So I'm gonna talk about it first. So the Mira is all about killing opponent's Dawn Restander. Wait, let me just and draw. I have this right here. Okay. Control A, C. Oh, hey, I could just do that. Okay. Let's make it bigger. There we go. Where's the mirror part? Okay, so in the mirror, our goal is to develop our own Sanji Usopp and then kill the opponent's Sanji Usopp. And then if we had the choice, we would take second. But honestly, first and second is really, really close. There's merit of going first. So by going first, you have the chance of going the curve of Sanji Usopp. That is 3 Dawn Standard by your 7 Dawn turn. And if you get that, you're almost always gonna have more Dawn Standard than your opponent, and you would be in good position. But then if you go second, you're gonna see one more card. So you are more likely to find your stage, find your Luna, find your Dawn Standard, find your Zora, whatever, because you see one extra card. So it's like there is benefit to both. And in my experience, I like second more. But honestly, when you go first and you see the nuts, Sanji, Usopp, that feels good as well. So like, yeah, just take what you like. I would go second though.
Yeah, I think both they both have their pros and cons.
Yeah.
But when you put it in this sort of perspective where it's like the mirror is more about killing your opponent's Don standers, first sometimes can be a bit better because then you can actually develop it before they can.
Yeah,
and just be
but
like essentially a turn ahead.
this is
on this card.
this is on the assumption that you're gonna see everything, But like when you go first and you don't exactly have Sanji, Usopp, Sanji, the player going second just had more chance of seeing all this stuff. Because like when you miss a turn of Zoro, when you miss your Sanji Usopp, when you miss a Luna, it's gonna be terrible. And by going second, by seeing the extra card and taking the first life, you're more likely to see your stuff than your opponent. But honestly, it's like 50-50. And when you look at the sim stat as well, it is like the only 50-50 mirror matchup. So yeah, I would just pick whatever. So what we're gonna do in this matchup is in the early game, we're gonna play as much Dawn Standard as possible. So on 4 we play Usopp, on 5 we play Sanji or Usopp, and then you just play more and more Dawn Standard. So notably, we're gonna play Sanji and Usopp on 7. And even if we miss that, we will not play Zara yet. We need more Dawn Standard before we play Zara. So whenever we can get away with not taking too much damage after developing a Sanji or Usopp, we're gonna play Sanji or Usopp. Because we would expect our opponent to clear some of it. So you're gonna play like 3, 4 Dawn Standard, expect them to clear some. Because if they don't clear them, you're just in a good position. And on 8 Dawn, you either develop more Sanji or Usopp, or if your opponent had a rested Sanji or Usopp for some reason, Nika to kill the Dawn Standard is good also. And so there's a specific play that we will do to bait them into swinging their Sanji or Usopp. So let's say on 5 you're gonna play Sanji, of course, and then on your 6th Dawn turn, usually you're just gonna play your own Sanji, and then you're gonna leave like a lot of Dawn up. But if you're holding Nika, you should only leave 2 Dawn up. Normally, when you have stage and you play Sanji, you're gonna be able to have 4 Dawn up. But in the mirror, since we want them to swing their Sanji or Usopp, we're only gonna leave 2 Dawn up. Because next turn,
have Nika.
Yeah, right. Yeah, if we had Nika.
Yeah.
Because next turn, if they somehow rest the Sanji or Usopp and we Nika into them, we're in a really good position. So in that case, we're just gonna leave 2 Dawn up because the Sanji or Usopp cannot swing anyway. If they swing, it's good for us. So we only need to counter out the leader swing, and if they swing the Sanji Usopp, it's good for us. So even if we could leave more Dawn up, we're gonna leave less Dawn up to bait them into swinging. Because when you have 4 Dawn up, there's absolutely no reason for them to swing. But if you have 2 Dawn up, the Sanji 7k plus the leader swing is gonna break through. So it's tempting for average player to swing their Sanji. So if you have Searcher, you play your Searcher here. And then if you have no Searcher, you swing really big into their leader. Like maybe you play Sanji, stage effect, and then you swing 8k into their leader. Even though they have 2 Dawn up and it makes no sense, just swing 8. Just swing it. Because, they might not think too much about it.
They'll get tempted and swing.
Yeah. And then on the next turn, if they rest the Sanji, you can use Nika to kill their rested Sanji.
Yeah.
And okay. And then on 8 on turn, obviously you're just gonna develop more Sanji or Usopp, but if you run out of Sanji Usopp, playing your big drop is also fine. And then on 9 on turn, this is like our first window to use Luna. So let's say your opponent had a big board already, you can of course just play 7 cost Zoro, because like by this turn, the player going second could have like Luffy, Usopp, Sanji on board. And if you don't play a Zoro and stay on 5k leader, you could take like 2 damage here. It's possible. So you could consider playing 7 cost Zoro, but another good play, the even better play, would be to play 6 cost Luffy, Nami, Luna. Oh, I know you're strong. It's the same thing. And then even though they have, let's say they play maybe Sanji on their 8 on turn, you're still gonna rest the Sanji and Usopp. You just leave the 9k there because you're stunning the Sanji Usopp to kill it later, not to, not let them swing. You just want to kill them. So you're gonna go Luffy, Nami, Luna, target Sanji Usopp, and then on the turn after, you're gonna kill both of them that are rested with Nika or anything. And then, so notably, if your opponent go Luffy, Nami, Luna on you, that means their board is only gonna be their 5 cost Sanji and the stuff they play on 7 Dawn turn. And in that case, when you're going second, you would expect your rested Sanji Usopp to die on the next turn. And so you have to develop more Sanji Usopp on 10 Dawn turn if they, target your Sanji Usopp. Because they're gonna die. All the rest of Sanji Usopp is gonna die. They are just gonna die. And then, yeah, the mirror is just a battle of killing all the Dawn Restander. And when one side have Restander and one side don't, the game will go very, very one-sided. So yeah. And then into the late game, I define late game by we have the threats of dying every single turn. We will first calculate if we die to broke, and if we die to broke, we have to try and go for lethal, because AUG Luffy always has broke. They have broke more often than not. So if you die to broke, you just have to go for game.
Yeah.
Like even if it's like you're only asking for like 2k counter, you still want to go for game. Like they are 1 life, you swing 669, just go for it. And then
Six cards.
Yeah, this is like one example from my game, from my area final. Opponent is 6 cards, 3 life with 3 down up. And I have a Zoro, and a 2k Nami on the board. No Charleston in my hand, so I cannot play one more turn. So I go 9k leader, they go 2 down plus 1k, and then I go 9k leader, they take. And then I just go 4 down on Nami, swing 6. As for 2k counter, they take. And then I swing 6 with leader, they take again, and I swing 9 for game. In their 7 cards, they have 1k counter total. So yeah, sometimes it just works. And it's better than hoping they have no broke.
Yeah.
And so that's it for the mirror. And then one other tricky matchup is the Mihawk matchup, because I believe there is actually more Mihawk now, and the Mihawk build is quite different from before. So right now, most of the Mihawk is going for the Forfun Shanks combo. And since more Mihawk are running this, we're gonna blind pick first, because there are 2 builds of Mihawk. One is the stun build. One is the Forfun Shanks build. And into the stun build, going first or second doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, it's just how many Luna they see, and going first or second does not actually matter. But for the for fun Shanks build, going first is actually better. So we're gonna blind pick first, because in case they are on Shanks, first is better. And then this is how the game would look like when we go first. We're gonna play Sanji on 5, and then they will go Mihawk and 5 cost on 6, and 7 cost will do whatever. And then on 8 on turn, they will go Shanks, kill the Sanji. And on our 9 on turn, we're actually guaranteed to kill the Shanks because our Nika has rushed already. And 8k to 1k is always a kill because let's say when you go second and on 8 on turn, you're only gonna have maybe a Usopp on board because they Shanks for fun kill your Sanji already. So what are your swing gonna be when you Nika? So first of all, you're not gonna have a full board, so the Nika is maybe like minus 6k only. So you will go 6 into 3. And then with the Usopp, you can go 5 into 3 maximum, which should not be enough to kill. They could just protect with double billion fold. So when you go second, we do not have a guarantee kill on Shanks on our 8 on turn. So on our 8 on turn, we will just play more Dawn Resender instead, because with more Dawn Resender, we'll be safer on our later Nika turn. Because we're gonna kill the Shanks on 10 on turn.
Yeah.
And
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
into Mihawk, it's actually very good now to go for their board. Because when we clear enough of their board, we can play our Nika a lot safer. And by clearing their board, we're also shutting down their filter. Because the 6-cost Mihawk will filter every turn. Like if you play Mihawk from OP14 before, you would know that the deck had no way of getting rid of breaks. And without the 6-cost Mihawk, they just don't have the filter in the late game anymore, and they could just draw multiple breaks and then they break. So going for the 6 Mihawk is really good. And let's say this is our 9 Dawn turn, right? Our 9 Dawn turn. We have like Sanji on the board, and then they have like some Dawn up. Like instead of going for their face, you could actually consider swinging the 7k into their Mihawk, because like if you swing face, first of all, they get the chance of using the 3k counter that will only protect their leader. So in a sense, you are not taking away their counter that could protect characters. And like swinging their character and swinging their face does not actually affect the clock that much, because either way you're gonna get a card from them and you probably kill them on the same turn. But by going for their board, so there's two things that could happen. One is they would let their character go, which is gonna delay your clock, because without the 7k on the board, you can play the game for potentially more turns. Or they're gonna spend card to protect the Mihawk, which is still gonna accelerate the clock at a similar rate to like compared to when you go for the face, because you're still getting a card from hand. So it probably doesn't really change the clock. But by not going for their life, you are denying them the life card. So they may miss their curve if they don't see their life card. So let's say they miss the law and tempo for 110 and you suddenly got big damage in. So that's really nice. So whenever you have a 7k or bigger attack into the Mihawk, it's oftentimes correct to just swing for their board. And let's say you have a 6k attack and they have a rested Oden. Instead of swinging their face, you could also consider swinging their Oden, because in this matchup, at some point of the game, we'll need to play Nika. And when you play Nika, and they still have multiple attack, you're gonna take big damage on their Nika turn. So by clearing their smaller character, you are setting up for your Nika turn better. So yeah, just go for your board whenever possible. But this is not saying to starve them. Like when you have the chance, you still go for their face. But if you can choose between face and board, oftentimes it's better to go board. But don't take it as a rule. It's just most of the time is correct. Like there is still
no.
situation where going live is good.
Makes sense.
That is when you can accelerate that clock by going live. Like maybe you kill them earlier. And then yeah, that's basically how the game would go. You just develop as much Sanji Usopp as possible. Like that's not the case previously. Like previously, we just need 2 dawn worth of dawn Standard, and then we play Zoro, 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 Zoro. But since now, our Sanji Usopp actually dies, we're gonna need more of our Sanji Usopp. We need 3 or maybe 4. So in your search, just make sure you prioritize your Sanji and Usopp more.
Yeah.
So
how would it work? Like for example, because we want to obviously keep developing until we can play Nico on a good turn, developing Don standards. So when searching, like, what if you like how many is good to have? Like, what am I trying to say? Like,
free.
at what point do you start like looking for Zoros or trying to prioritize Zoros or Nikas?
I would say if you have to, like, if you had, okay, so in a typical Mihawk game, we need 1 Nika, just 1. Because 1 good Nika turn is enough. Like, sometimes you can play 2, but realistically, you just need the first one. Because the second one is not that important. Like, you probably win either way. Like, you can win by going for Zoro. But the first one is important to get rid of their first Shanks. And sometimes when they play maybe a second Shanks and don't have nearly enough pressure, you could play a second Nika. But a lot of the time, you only have chance to play 1 if they actually apply enough pressure on you. So we're gonna prioritize our first Nika. And then we're gonna need 2 dawn standard on board. Like we need to not 2 2 dawn worth of dawn standard on board. So either single Usopp or like double Sanji. Like we need 2 dawn worth of dawn standard. And so like a good amount of dawn standard I would say is 3 of them. We just need 3 of them. Because we can afford losing 1 and then keep the other 2. So yeah, just 3 of them would be okay. Because they always kill 1. Always.
Yeah. Okay. And then what about when it gets like the Beppo turns? How do we sort of how what are we sort of imagining throughout the progress of the game? Like we're if we're sort of chipping away at their board a bit more than their life, would they still be in like sort of healthy position? It's like when do we sort of try go for the game? Or when do we start like playing against Zoros and stuff?
Okay. Okay, let's talk about like to play around that purple first. So you know that into the stun build, we're gonna not attack on their 8 on our 8 or 9 turn to play around the purple effect. But here we could actually just win because like we are prioritized swinging board at this point, right? And so when we keep swinging the board, they actually can like if we're swinging the board anyway, their leader becoming 7k is less important because we can clear all of their board if they decided to swing with their character. So when we go for their board enough, either way, their purple effect is not that important. So we could just swing on 8 or 9 down turn, but you have to prioritize pressuring their board, like to set up for not playing around purple. Because if we leave all our spot, if we leave the board standing to play around purple, we won't have enough pressure on their life, and it's potentially they could just go Shanks for fun again. And then now they're gonna have extra Shanks on board, and we lose a Dawn Standard, and we did not apply pressure to them on the previous turn, so that's quite bad. So right now we don't really play around the purple effect. We just swing board instead, like starting from the start of the game. Yeah, that's it for Mihawk. Yeah. And then, yeah.
No, I think that's pretty good information. You cleared up like a lot of things that I wasn't too sure of. Yeah, because like reading your guide, like obviously it helps a lot, but then like hearing you sort of talk about how to put it into practical, like actually like helps me understand it a lot more. So like when you talk through like the sort of plays we're gonna make, the way we're gonna do things on certain turns, it makes a lot more sense. Whereas before I was sort of just trying to like I would read your guide and I would like because I didn't really have anyone to review what I was doing. But having you go through all of this actually makes like a lot more things make sense.
Yeah. I need
So
to
I think a
update
lot
the
of the
guide
questions.
somehow to put all of them into it. But I'm gonna update
Yeah.
soon, I think. And then for the end now,
But
the matchup did not change that much from OP15. And when you go first, it's just playing as many characters as possible to drain the removal. And then
yeah.
when they have multiple like what the NL is gonna do is they want to clear your board while establishing the 6 cost. Now, clearing our board is their first priority, and then if we have an empty board, they can establish a 6 cost. And the way they would do that, the most efficient way they could do that is by establishing multiple When they have multiple they could play an NL, effect, and then still kill your board. So yeah.
Yeah.
So the best way they could play is, let's say we play Sanji on 5, and then on 6, they're gonna play 6 cost NL, and then like reduce the Sanji, and then somehow kill the Sanji while playing the NL. That would be really bad for us. And usually,
Yeah.
they would need a on board to do it. And then for AUG, we just want to play as much character as possible to force them into not playing 6 costs. Because let's say we're gonna play a Sanji, and if they ignore the Sanji and play another 6 cost, next turn we'll play even more characters. And then once we have a board that stakes, we're gonna win the race. So they absolutely do not want us to keep a board. By playing character, we're forcing them to not play 6 cost, because leaving character for us is bad. So if they want to go, let's say, Gamma Knight, at most, they are gonna play a 4 cost character. And the biggest it gets is like the Ragel, but the Ragel is pretty weak as well, because we could just rush the Zora into it and then just kill it.
Yeah.
Now, Usopp is quite bad here, because and now is able to develop 6 costs while killing the Usopp, which is really not that good, because that's the one thing we want to prevent. And yeah, just play as much character as possible, force them to not play NL, and then just win the race. Going first is pretty straightforward. It's like normal One Piece.
Yeah.
And then when we go second, we actually starve.
Yeah.
The reason we starve is that, let's take an example of a game. So let's say on 1 cost, they go whatever, and then on 3 cost, they go and then they on 5, they go 6 cost NL. It's gonna be real bad for us, because now they have double on board with an NL, while we have, maybe an Usopp. I don't know. No, we probably don't have a Usopp. We have an NT board, because the Usopp is gonna die for free. So on the 6th non-turn, instead of developing, we're gonna use Focus Nami to kill all of their own.
Yeah.
Because even if we develop, they would just use both the to kill our character and then play another NL anyway. So when they have double you should just use Focus Nami to kill them. But if they had single it's often better to still develop your own board. Because let's say you play your 7 cost Nami to kill all of the what is the most punishing play that the NL can do? What's the best play for NL if you play 4 cost Nami in here? What character are they gonna play?
NL.
Of course, yes.
Right.
So at this point of the game, we're gonna have an empty board because 4 cost Nami isn't a real character, while they have double NL.
Yeah.
And if they have that, it's really, 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 really hard for us to win. So, but if they miss the NL, they play like Frankie or Rachel, this is perfectly fine for us because Frankie and Rachel or Pink, they are not real characters. They will die to the slightest swing. So anything other than NL, we're fine. So by playing Focus Nami to kill all their own, we're gambling on them not having NL.
Yeah.
Which is which is a better chance for us to win. Because if we leave the Ohm there, whatever we play is gonna die anyway. And if they had the NL, we're still gonna lose. So either way, we're gambling on them to not have the NL. But by killing the Ohm, we're gonna make it so that our future character leave. Like it's more probable for our future character to leave. And this is also the reason why we start, because if they miss the NL here, we're perfectly fine. So by starving, we're increasing the chance of them missing the NL. And that is the way we win. And also by starving, we're not giving them extra resources. So for them to kill our board, they must spend some cards. And at some point of the game, they're gonna miss the removal, and then the game can swing back in our favor in just a few turns. So like we can probably put them on a 2-turn clock when they are like 2 cards in hand. Because all of the removal is gonna cost hand. So Gamma Knife is -1, and then Eldor is -1, and then playing Radio is -1, playing Dog is -1. I don't know if they still play dogs, they don't. So like at some point of the game they will miss removal, and maybe their hand size got low enough that your like 12k swing is gonna kill an NL. Sometimes that happens. And when their hand size is low enough, you can just play Nika to reduce the NL and kill it as well. And if they miss the consecutive NL after you kill the first one, you are just gonna win the game from there. And so starving will give you the best chance of winning when you go second, because when you go second and they got everything, you never win. You need them to miss something. So starving is the best way to do it. And then
Makes sense.
into blue green, we'll take first, because into blue green, as long as we don't take a gravity blade, we're gonna win. So all of our game plan will resolve around playing around the graph blade. Because let's say on 2 dawn they're gonna do 2+2. On 3 dawn you're gonna leave 2 dawn up, obviously. On 4 dawn they will play a focus, you know, that crocodile, yeah. And then on 5, it's usually best to play Sanji if you have stage.
Yeah.
But if we don't have stage, we actually can, like, if we don't have stage and they have a big enough board, let's say their board is like 2 cost, 2 cost, 4 cost, and we don't have stage. In that case, we will not play Sanji if we don't have stage. Uh, the reason why being if we have no stage and we play the Sanji, we're gonna have only 2 dawn up. And with only 2 dawn up, what they're gonna do next turn is maybe they'll play something random, and then they will swing like 5, 7, 7, 7. And then what are we gonna do? We're gonna take like 2 life. And if we just take like 2 life, the game could be just over for us. Because they would just redevelop in a single turn, and then with like when we're that low on life and we don't even have stage yet, we can just lose the game from there. So when we don't have stage, we're gonna go like Dawn on leader and then pass. Now we want at least 3 Dawn up here. So it's possible that we play 1 Nami trying to get our stage. But we never play 2 Nami because we need 3 Dawn up. So if we play 1 Nami and we actually get a stage, we get to leave 3 Dawn up while developing the stage. That is perfect. So yeah, but we need at least 3 Dawn up, because like when they have a board like this, they could go like 5 and then 7 with the croc, and then maybe 6 with like one of them, you know, something like that. Because most of the time they're gonna play Buggy Prisoner, and then with 3 Dawn to work with. And when they have 3 Dawn to work with, the maximum they could go is actually like 7 with croc and then 5 with leader. and then maybe 6 with one of the weenies. So yeah, 3 Dawn is enough.
Yeah.
And then okay,
you start playing Zoro.
yeah, back to why we pass with no stage here. So the reason why we pass with no stage is that by extending the game, we're gonna have more Dawn on each turn, and eventually we'll get to 10 Dawn. And when we're 10 Dawn already, we actually don't need any Dawn Extender. Because Zoro and 3 Dawn up is often good enough if you saved enough counter into the other game. So let's say, for example, you have 4 Dawn up in here. This turn you will take no damage and spend no cards. So by the end, like by the time you got to 10 Dawn, your hand size would still be healthy. And if your hand size is still healthy, 3 Dawn could be enough because you can just like give 1k counter, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we want to get into the late game. So by passing, we're getting into the late game healthier. And then like on 5, we're gonna play a Sanji in an ideal world. And then on 7, we will just play Zoro. Because we cannot develop more like Sanji Usopp here. Because let's say we go like Sanji Usopp. I mean, Sanji Usopp is good, but let's say we go single Sanji and they just play graph play on us and push with the rest. We're gonna have an empty board while being not healthy, and they have like 6k, 6k, 6k on board. That is really bad. So we will just play Zoro in here so that we have a 9k character on board. And then a Dawn Restander. So that's like good enough. Like, even if they go graph play on the single Sanji, we still have the 9k Zoro that's gonna pressure their board every single turn. So with 9k, when you go 9 into 6, they need 2k, 2k to counter. And eventually they will let their board die. So when you have a Zoro on board, they cannot swing freely. And yeah, it's just good in general to have Zoro on board.
Yeah.
And then from that point onward, we're just gonna chain Zoro until they die. And then if we can go 9 into that board, we just go into that board. Like 9 into 6 and 9 into life is not that much different, but like by going 9 into 6, you're killing that stuff. And also, if you have both Luna and Zoro, and they are both good for this turn, you have to go Luna first and then Zoro. The reason why is that if you Luna first, and then Zoro, your Zoro is still very good, so you get value from both. But if you go Zoro first, what are they gonna do is like they will look at your 7k leader and keep their whole board standing. And so for the next turn, your Luna is useless because their board is standing. So yeah, when you have Zoro and Luna, you have to play Luna first. And when you play Luna, you want to play a Dawn Standard with it. Because like when you go like Sanji into Zoro, you're gonna have a single Sanji for your Dawn Standard, which is not like good enough. Like yeah, so you would just go Luna and then some Dawn Restander to like develop your Dawn Restander while not taking any damage on that turn.
Makes sense.
And then later in the game, when they go for lethal, you just want to play around the Restand, the DMG, and the Brook, and the Tuka Scoutino. Like any combination of that, you just need to play around all of them. I don't think they run Brook anymore, so you can like maybe ignore the Brook, but some still run it, so yeah, just make sure you play around everything. And don't go under 3 Dawn easily when you have Charleston. Because when you only have 3 Dawn left, they would go DMG and then just, denying the Charleston.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's it. Do you have like any specific leader or matchup that you're struggling to, or like any questions?
Well, I struggled the most with the Mirror and Mihawk. They were definitely the hardest ones. But I think after learning what you've taught me today, I've just got to give it a few more reps and just sort of understand everything that you've said, and sort of incorporate that into play just to see how much of a difference it really is. In terms of other leaders, I don't really have much of an issue playing into them. They're all quite manageable. I actually play a lot better in person than on sim. So like at my locals and stuff like that, I
Yeah,
can
me
play
as well.
a lot better. So
Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable into a lot of them. Obviously, teach is just like, you just got to go aggressive, and if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Um, I would probably say Katakuri is something that has been pretty hard sometimes, but it isn't as difficult as like the Mirror or Mihawk. You just hope you get first, and then it's pretty bliss from there. If you get second, sometimes it is a bit harder. With Sabo, pretty sure I just starved, and they really can't do anything when they hit their combo. But I did play against the Sabo playing Rev Army, and that was that was pretty hard. They literally
yeah. If they play Rev Army, you're gonna need multiple Nami to push through. Because all they brought is AK, blockers.
Yeah.
So
If you see enough Nami, you could push through.
Yeah.
And so for kata, just go as wide as possible. Like, for example, when you're 8 on turn, it's often correct to go like double develop than playing a single Zoro. Because they will take a single swing pretty well. Because the Big Mom is gonna heal, and they will kill your biggest character with the Big Mom. So double developing is way better than playing single Zoro most of the time.
Yeah. Agree. I think that's how I sort of found some success in the world, just going wide.
Yes.
And they can't block everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I think like we've sort of gone through everything. I just need to put it into practice now and just keep grinding it out.
Yeah, so before our next session, maybe you could get some game of Mihawk and Mira. I think that's the two matchup, right? So yeah, and then we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Easy. Yeah, sounds good. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
It actually like helped a lot. Yeah, even it's like one small thing or one thing like the whole clock thing. I've just been thinking about it the entire session. It's like wow, I can't believe I haven't been thinking about it like that.
All right, nice. I'm glad you learned. I'll look forward to see your improvement in your next games. All right, see you later.
See you later. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.